My video yesterday where I wanted to add in the downloading of the CSV data, as you can see here, as one of the tasks for an agent. So I went ahead this morning and added that in. It was pretty straightforward, went pretty quickly. Once again, I used Cursor and Composer. I used Composer basically to write pretty much all the code in my tool here. And this stuff is just truly amazing. Very, very useful. So let's go through this real quick. Added in this argument here for the max records. So if you're not familiar with the Salesforce API for the bulk loading, if you don't specify, like let's say you do 100,000 rows, and if you go get the results, you're just gonna, download and stream you 100,000 rows. So you may not want to do all that at one go. You might want to break it up into chunks or batches, they call, which you can do, where you specify as a parameter to the URL here that you want the max records. Now, if you do this and this max record is smaller than the overall results, you're going to get, like, let's say 50 record rows at a time, but then also in the header, you're going to get a locator, so you can basically do the pagination that way. So that's what we would see here when we get the headers back. So this was pretty straightforward. So I go through, download the results, and just write them to a file. The other thing is, if you do it in multiple chunks, something to be aware of, you're going to get the headers each time, so each one of the batches is going to have the headers in there. So I wanted to go ahead and just have the headers in the first batch, since I'm going to take this and feed it into BigQuery and do a BQ load. I don't want the headers mentioned multiple times because it would cause an error. So I just kind of instructed Cursor to kind of deal with that and take care of it for me. And to build out this download results function, I essentially cut and pasted into Cursor and said, this is how I do it in curl. Can you write a Python function to do this? And then just kind of explained about, like, the locator and the max records, and to tell it to take the access token and the job ID from the previous jobs and all that stuff. So it was able to figure that out. And then I also had it write my task for me here. This is the download one, so you can see it just take the job ID from the previous step here, and then pass in to my tool that I want to do the download, the job ID, and then the max record. So this right here, and you see this is those variables that are sent in. So this is the query, and this is going to be the max records, and that's set here. I have a default of, like, let's say 5. You can kind of pass it in. So let's go ahead and run this and see how this looks. Well, I already did it once here, but I guess I don't have anything. Let's just delete all these. All right, so if we do a CrewAI flow kickoff, this is just going to take all the defaults. If I wanted to pass the parameters in, I need to just call it with Python. I haven't done it, added it in to where I can just kick it off from the command line here with the parameters, but I can work on that too. So here we go. Submitted the job, waiting for the status to come back. Now it's finally done. Now we're going to go ahead and download the job. You can see here the max results got interpolated in there for us, and boom, there you go. Let's take a look at this. All right, that's cool. So there you go. This stuff is truly amazing. So here, if we want to do max, let's do 50 here, and this will just this obviously will just be once here, but you can see how this gets injected into the context of the actual task. All right, so there's 50, and boom, done already. So let's take a look at that. You can see here, and also we only got single headers, which is what I wanted. So there you go. Hope everybody has a good day, and keep hacking away. Take care.